And so when you think about it, we want to say culture, 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 but culture comes from, let me give you something to get behind. Let me give you purpose. Let me give you a why. And so when you think about it in your classroom, and I had to tell my kids, one of my kids kind of called me out last week. Last week, and he was kind of rude about it. Um, but I understood what he was saying, so I didn't discipline him. I pulled him aside and I talked to him, and I said, I want to thank you. I say, howbeit, we need to work on the delivery of your message because it's a little abrasive. I say, and I'm working on that too. I say, so we can help each other. I say, but know that I heard you. I say, and I made a difference. And so yesterday, when we were doing our assignments, when I had to redirect him, I didn't redirect him based on the rules that I put in place or the principles of the classroom. I redirected him to the very thing that he said. And he said, I don't want you preach to us, you preach to us, you preach to us, you preach to us. Sometimes you gotta just let us see what happens or something he said. And I said, but in order for that to happen, I need you to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. You gotta be taking care of your business. And so it was just real interesting. Very, very interesting. And so yesterday's class went relatively unscathed. Like there was very little um, nonsense. That was still there, but it was very little. It was very easily adjusted. So it just made me think that, made me realize that sometimes even as teachers, maybe, we should wait until we know our kids before we start creating the environment for our kids. I used to always be, we grew up at, teaching print rich environment, have stuff all over the wall. But why not have completely empty walls and you create what you're going to create with the kids that you have? I was even thinking like next year, I may give each one of my kids a portion of my room and say, now here, we're going to decorate it with what we want to decorate it. This is first block size, this is second block, this is third block. And give each person and each group an opportunity to get behind something. He said, just it just popped in my mind because again, we always want to talk culture, 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 culture. That means we gotta stick by the rules. No, culture, culture, culture. That means you gotta build relationships. That means sometimes you gotta eat it in order for a kid to feel like they gotta win. I asked a kid to pick up. He was throwing food at his friend, and he threw some food and it fell on the ground. And this is in the foyer. And I asked him, I said, man, can you pick that up? So he kind of was reluctant. So he picked up a part of the food, but then there was like some like jelly or something on the ground, and I was like, "You can't get a paper. You can get a paper towel and pick this up." And he was like, "I didn't do that. I didn't have no jelly. That wasn't me." And I was like, "But I'm asking you to pick it up." He was like, "But I didn't put it there." I say, "Neither did I." I say, "And if you don't do it, then I'm going to pick it up." He's like, "But I didn't do it." I said, "I'm not asking you. I'm not trying to establish guilt or innocence. I'm talking about integrity and maintaining and preserving our school building." I said, "Do you want to go into a building where everything is like this?" He's like, "No, but I didn't do that." So I grabbed, it was a custodial walking right, like coming right at that time. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to have her do it. I said, "Excuse me, can I get a paper towel?" She gave me a paper towel. And when she saw what I was going to do, she gave me some spray. And I sprayed it. I wiped it up. I made sure it was dry. And I put it in there. He stood right there the whole time and watched me do it. Yesterday when we were walking down the hallway, he saw me coming, and we both saw that there was a pencil on the floor. He grabbed it before I did. And when he walked by me, he said, "You want this?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll take it. I can put it with the rest of them." I said, "I appreciate it." And he kind of looked at me and gave me a look. That wasn't based on a rule. That was based on a relationship. And when kids sometimes see you willing to work with them to create that relationship, work with them to build something, they'll get behind you. They'll get behind you.